Hello stream, what is up? Welcome back. It's good to hopefully see somebody out there, I hope. I mean, you never know, early streams there, people come straggling all the time. That's always cool, and everyone's always welcome to lurk whenever they wish. And I just thought, you know what, let's open with the song that Netflix, who literally spent $100 million to have Friends on their service for 1 year, which they've subsequently lost. Next year, it's no longer going to be on Netflix. It's going to somewhere else. I think it's Hulu put up even more ridiculous amount of money. But Netflix paid $100 million to get Neon for Friends to be on Netflix. But when they bought the license to stream Neon Genesis Evangelion and the end song is Fly Me to the Moon, they said, nope, that's too much. We're not spending money to license that song, and just replaced it. Or just had pure silence. So yeah, go figure. But anyway, the original plan tonight was to play Battlezone 98 Redo, and Battlezone 98 was a interesting remake. It really had almost nothing to do with the original game whatsoever. It was a lot of fun, and unfortunately OBS is not playing nice with it, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to do it. We'll do it another stream. So today I just figured, you know what, let's play the original Bayonetta. You know, let's have some fun with that. I have not played the original Bayonetta in over a year, so I'm going to be total garbage at it. So if you're expecting like a speed run out of this one, it's not gonna happen. But I do like to play this game casually from time to time, so that's what we'll do. Now, unfortunately, with how this game is that when you don't have the window up front, it pauses everything, so it's kind of annoying. So I'm kind of keeping an eye on the audio, hoping that's okay. And the crazy thing is, this game is almost 10 years old now. I just kind of realized that. I'm like, when did this game come out? Like 2009, like in October. I'm like, holy crap. I personally did not experience this game like until 2010, like around May or so. Like I'd been where I live in Erie now for like about 3 or 4 months. And I was like, what's a good action game? And then I don't think it was Twitch at the time. It might have still been Justin TV. Because Justin TV got, you know, basically absorbed into Twitch, the whole thing, or switched over. I can't remember the whole thing about it, but yeah, it was pretty crazy. So I saw somebody playing Bayonetta. I'm like, oh my gosh, this looks absolutely amazing. This looks exactly what I am looking for. So yeah, it was pretty awesome. So I'm like, okay, so I went out, bought the last copy that the GameStop had, popped it in, and went, yes, this is exactly what I want to play. Let's see, load game. What do we have in load files? Okay, so this is, I believe, Ace Krana's file. It's a speedrunner for Bayonetta 1 and 2. And, yeah, so I'm pretty sure these are, yeah, non-stop climax. That's the Jean one, that's Bayonetta. So we're going to go down to 5. We're going to do a brand new one when we save up the game. So, as you know, I am a Bayonetta 2 speedrunner. I originally thought about running this game, but it takes too much of a toll on my body to do a full playthrough. You know, like to do like one full speedrun non-stop, so I don't do that. I didn't see that was new game. You will not be able to continue from your previous save checkpoint. Yes, that's fine. So yeah, so Bayonetta 2, you're going to hear it directly from the horse's mouth, me being the horse's mouth, that Bayonetta 2 is a lot easier versus Bayonetta 1. To get like kind of close to the difficulty, like normal mode on Bayonetta would be kind of like would be hard mode on Bayonetta 2 or third climax. This game's a lot trickier. The combo system is different. They changed it for number 2 to be more streamlined for action. So this one has a lot more depth, a lot more possibilities to it. It's a different combo structure. If you play as Jean in Bayonetta 2, it's no problem. It basically goes into 1. But this game is a completely different beast. So you're going to see me struggle, no doubt. In a universe of light and dark, where perception is reality, one man, Keanu Reeves, will make a change as the ultimate safety guard. Come on, kids, cross the road. Yeah, I'd actually pay money to see like Keanu Reeves as like a crosswalk guard for children going to school. And, like, nothing ever happens, just him, like, helping kids across the street. I would go bankrupt watching that movie.
Long since erased from the records of time, there once existed two European clans who served as overseers.
So let's see, what is...
The Umbra Witches, dwellers
okay,
of darkness,
that's a big one right there, like early on.
sages.
It's like punch, then pause to launch him, and then hit Y again to grab him and start slamming him on the ground.
Great respect and their efforts to maintain the balance.
So I am playing the PC version of this game. Let me change the audio a little bit in my headphones. I'm back to wearing headphones again. I'm giving it a try out. It seems like my ear's not irritated as much. So for those of you who may not be aware, if you were lurking, I blew up my eardrum on the 4th of July, standing like 2 feet from a mortar launcher that short fused it on me. So yeah, so I lost all my hearing in my right ear for a while, blew out the eardrum. So it's healing and coming back, but it was getting irritated with headphones. So I am playing the PC version of this game. Okay, that still works. Man, dodging is so different for Bayonetta in this game. But the PC version goes on sale quite often. I mean, a lot of times, like when it's not on sale, so I think it's $20, but you'll see it go on sale for like $5 United States. And according to members of the Bayonetta Discord, that it's like even in foreign countries like Russia, I've heard is like it's even cheaper when it goes on sale, like $3. So this game will run on a toaster just about. So I mean, you can literally run this on a like 8-year-old computer without any problem, 60 frames per second, 1080p. Digital Foundry actually did a video on that. They found out like even like running like even on like a 7-year-old computer, I think, and like a GTX 960, which is what I have, you could run this game in 4K. So I am not playing the PlayStation 3 version. I do own it. I bought it as a joke, like, well, this will be interesting. Let's try this just for because like I've heard how bad it is, and never play the PlayStation 3 version even as a joke. It's just it is such hot garbage. Switch version, I would, so first off, like, what versions to play if you want to play this game? Definitely PC would be the first. Second would be Xbox One, if you have the Xbox One, because the emulator for that does this game really well, faster loading times. Then I'd say Xbox 360. Then after that would probably be Switch, and then dead last, or after that would be Wii U, and then dead last would be PlayStation 3. Now, I do own this for the Switch, but last time I tried playing it, it was like it still had almost all the slowdown problems that it did on the Wii U. Because in this game, for whatever reason, in this game particularly alone, let me change the volume a little bit here. This game, for whatever reason, gameplay is tied to frame rate, so... Okay, it doesn't let me do it. Gotta have it open. So gameplay is tied to frame rate, so if the frame rate tanks, you're going in slow motion. So at certain scenes in the Wii U version and Switch, you'll have a lot of stuff going on, and it'll drop to like 30 to 20 frames per second, and you're moving, like literally everything is just going in slow motion. So this part I forgot. That like you see like the angels, they're actually, some of them were human apparently. This is like never touched upon in Bayonetta 2. I don't think they even talk about this even in the rest of this game. Oh, my raspberry jam! Oh, that's far worse. But then they change into angels. Whatever these guys are called, we're gonna find out, because even I don't know. To me, mentally, bad guys' names will make sense if they're kind of like if they make sense to what they are, and these things are just named off the wall. Like this one's called Divine, this one's called, you know, Acceptance. It's like, and for me, it doesn't make like that mental connection like to what to call these things. So I'm like, okay, I'm not sure. You know, if you call this one like Angel, and then like the other one like Archangel, like the bigger, larger version of that, to me that would like make sense. In this game, not so much. Alright, save data, we're going to go down to the number 5, because these are 2 save files from the Bayonetta community, where you have, like, I think everything is unlocked on this one. It's been a while. Ace Krana put it up on the Bayonetta speedrun page, speedrun.com page. Underneath, I believe it's resources. And I think he put it up also in the Jean file here, too. So, if you have the PC version and want to have everything unlocked from the get-go, that's the way to check it out. The vestibule. Alright. Continue on. No, we already saved. We're good. Okay, so I cannot change... That's right, the PC version doesn't have outfits. So I was thinking the Switch, that you have like 4 different outfits that you can actually unlock from the get-go on the Switch version. And on PC, every other version that doesn't exist except for Wii U. Pardon me. Alright, so here we go. Also, loading on PC is literally non-existent. You just saw the loading screen. Which is why if you plan on speedrunning or curious about it, PC is the way to go, just because it loads so incredibly fast. Now, I do love the credits in this game. This really does give a lot of, like, Easter eggs all over the place. It's really campy, too. I mean, it's like, the second game is completely different in tone and everything. I like how they have, like, tombstones that are born, but they don't have an expiration, like a death date. Shinshu, Japan.
It looks like Humpty Dumpty.
Oh, let's turn this up.
He's taking his last fall. Even old Eggman the Destroyer gets scrambled in the end.
Ah, Sonic reference.
You know, I still don't get why the hell you dragged me out here for these things. I just drop off the merchandise. Hey, bet you can't guess what today is. Reading the good Lord's book ain't gonna do much. People been waiting for this asshole to get whacked for ages. Please. Hell, look around. There's no love lost for old Humpty Dumpty.
So Eggman, aka Dr. Robotnik, is dead?
But you gotta keep the outfit happy. We don't take care of him, they take care of us. And I prefer my shoes made out of rubber, not concrete.
It would have been really awesome if they actually got Joe Pesci to play this character, to play Enzo.
To put these bastards 6 feet under, where'd society be?
Because I mean, it's basically Joe Pesci.
Jesus, you really get into this shit, don't you?
I think her Bible's upside down. That is, I just realized that. That's funny. I love that. The Bible's upside down.
You can keep praying, but the only way this guy's meeting the Lord is if God's hungry for breakfast. Speaking of hungry, we done here? My kids are baking me a birthday cake tonight. Cute little fuckers, I tell you what. Well then, adios.
That is a waste of a very good cigar, sir. As a former cigar smoker, I am appalled.
What the fuck? They're here? For this douchebag? Ah! I hate this damn light. I can't see a thing. Oh! But they're there, ain't they? You hearing me? You can see them, can't you?
I see them. They are instruments of God, descending upon his heavenly rays to earth.
Oh my God!
Dear Lord, grant us guidance and keep safe the souls of our loved ones for all eternity.
Okay, so what are these things called? Affinity. Okay. Yeah, because to me that just doesn't make any sense, so that's why I can never remember any of the enemies' names. Other than I skip all these cutscenes when I play on Bayonetta 2, telling me what they are.
You look tired. Let me tuck you in.
It's a very unusual way to bury people. In the domino formation. You don't see that very often in cemeteries.
Oh God! Oh shit! Forgive me, Hitman! I didn't mean all that Humpty Dumpty shit! I swear!
This is the first time we get to see how cool Rodon is. Hey Omar, what's up?
Next time you want your hands on me, you better make sure I'm dead. Now move out the way.
Man, I really forgot how campy this game is compared to 2. It is like an entirely different tone to this game. This is like more lighthearted fun. I am hanging in there. My original plan tonight was to play Battlezone 98, but OBS was freaking out about it, so I figured, you know what? I speedrun Bayonetta 2 all the time. Let's play the first game, because I haven't played that forever. Ah, it's Kamiya's gravestone. I like that. So when he grabs. I mean, there's references to Sonic here, like they're at Eggman's funeral, aka Robotnik, Dr. Robotnik if you're in the States. Yes, I speedrun Bayonetta 2. I have several world records for that. And I was originally going to run Bayonetta 1, but that game just takes too much of a toll on my body for my different health reasons, you know, problems I have. Pardon me. So yeah, I speedrun Bayonetta 2 a lot. So this game is going to really throw me off because the combo system is completely different in number 2. Ah, cool, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't have any notifications on screen that tell me when people join or follow, but I do appreciate it if you do. Yeah, so like my next Bayonetta speedrun will probably be tomorrow. Probably do a Jean speedrun in number 2.
Now, this is cheeky. Throwing me these cheap toys.
Don't worry about quality. I've got quantity.
I think I missed it. There is a Beautiful Joe reference here too. Remember his name popping up on one of the gravestones. I saw screen tearing for a second. It's not supposed to have V-Sync on. By the way, as I always have for everybody, like whenever you're watching my stream, if the audio needs to be adjusted, like if it's too quiet, too loud, whatever, let me know. If the screen looks like crap, let me know that too, because I always want to make sure the stream looks as best as possible. Oh yeah, it's crazy to think about it, but this game is like 10 years old just about. There it is. Yeah, Beautiful Joe reference there in the background. Joe. So yeah, I mean, this game is like almost 10 years old now. In October it'll be 10 years, which is crazy.
That was your last call.
Okay, perfect.
Shots from me, Bayonetta.
Yeah, that's like my #1 rule in my stream is like, if you can lurk, lurkers are always welcome on my channel. But like, if something's wrong or it needs to be changed, just let me know. It's like, you can go back to lurking afterwards. It's like, just let me know and I'll be happy to change it. Oh yeah, it's crazy. Because I actually did not play this when it first came out. I did not even know about it. There we go, and smash them around. It wasn't until like around, it'd been out like probably about 7 or 8 months. I saw a person play the game on Justin TV, which is like what Twitch became later on, or got bought out for, or whatever it was that happened. So I saw somebody play, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this game looks amazing. So then I went out and bought the last copy that they had at GameStop for like 20 bucks. And I played it, and I'm like, okay, this is amazing. And I gotta say though, like I said, as a Bayonetta 2 player, that the combo system in this game is very different. Well, I mean, it is what it is, but in 2 they changed around, they made it like even more simpler. There we go. Looking for that grab. Visually it's different too, like you don't have that like little halo screen up above it. And torture attacks are the big thing here. Oh really? That's awesome. Yeah, for whatever reason, now I remember, I was trying to think like, why didn't I hear about this game before? You know, when it came out, I was moving at the time. I was busy moving from Michigan to Pennsylvania. You know, I don't know where you are, but I'm in the United States. So I was moving from Michigan to Pennsylvania at the time, so that's why I didn't hear about it most likely. But then I just saw somebody like streaming it, and I'm like, that is awesome. This looks really cool. They're using like a custom soundtrack too, so it was like a 360 version. Oh yeah, that's right. Also in this game, you start off with like nothing just about. Is there a cooldown? I'm just trying to see if there's a cooldown for dodging, and there is. Okay. Yeah, I do also have the PlayStation version, the PlayStation 3 version of this game. Never play that, even as a joke. It's not worth it. Yeah, the PlayStation 3 version is like pure garbage. And I knew that buying it. I mean, I knew it was going to be total junk. But I bought it on like a PlayStation sale for like $7, I think it was. And oh boy, I can see why Platinum officially apologized for that port. It's like, it runs literally like less than 20 frames. It's usually around 18 to 20 frames per second. I am playing the PC version, which runs a wonderful locked 60 frames per second, just about, and you can run this game on a toaster. I mean, you can have like an 8-year-old computer and run this in 4K, just about. It runs ridiculously well.
I just bought the damn thing.
Haven't you figured it out yet?
Oh yeah, PC is amazing when that port. I was surprised when the PC port actually got announced. I was like, are you kidding me? It's like, 'cause I didn't think that was ever going to happen, so. And then it just, I mean, it looks pretty good already. It did anyway back on the consoles, but just like the almost non-existent loading times is just outstanding. And there we go, you're the one I was looking for. Bam. Put him in a coffin. Alright, so what do I have? So I wonder if I still have my punch, punch, kick, kick, kick. Not quite. Okay. Yeah, and I'm running at 720p just so I can stream it easier, because I run it in a window. I don't have a multi-monitor setup. I just don't have the space for it, unfortunately. Because I would love to do that, make reading chat and having gameplay full screen be a lot better. But yeah, I'm streaming at 720p with all the settings cranked up to max. So, yeah, it looks great. It plays really well. I would really, really like for an official port of Bayonetta 2 to be on PC, but I'm not holding my breath for that. So, knowing how licenses work and how Nintendo really doesn't want to do that.
Engine still purrs nicely.
But yeah, I mean, there's always emulation, but it's just, you know, I'd rather have the official thing. Did I play Devil May Cry 5? I did, and I was bored to tears. Oh my god. So I understand why people like the game. I really do. I'm not like hating on the series. I like Devil May Cry, except for 2. That game was just garbage. But 5 I didn't really like a whole lot. It was just kind of a weird things. It didn't seem like, it seemed more focused on doing like all these combos versus trying to like beat somebody and move through and have a challenge. Just like, okay, they just kind of stand there, you can just run up and practice your combos all day. I was just like, okay, this is boring me to death. I got like to level, or chapter, whatever it is, like the 5th mission. I was like, I'm done. I just got bored to tears. But I know people who play it and love it, and like I said, that's fine. It's not a bad game. I just kind of found it boring personally. Maybe because I speedrun 2 so much, I'm not sure. You know, Bayonetta 2. But the big problem I had with Devil May Cry was actually the dodging mechanic. Because in Bayonetta, you can dodge any direction. You hit dodge, you know you're going back. You can hit left, right, or whatever. In Devil May Cry 5, you have to hit back for wherever you are. So you have to maintain situational awareness of where your character is facing and what would be back for them at that point in time in order to dodge correctly. Or you're going to dodge right into somebody or roll to the side. And dodging was like almost useless. It was kind of like Sekiro. It's like, oh, you're going to shuffle 6 inches to the left or 6 inches to the right. They may have changed it. I played it when it came out, so, I mean, I'm sure there's been patches and different improvements. I'll probably give it another shot probably in a month or 2, but for me, Devil May Cry 3, yeah, is definitely by far the best. That was actually the first one I played. Yeah, it is kind of stiff, you know, Devil May Cry. I did like 4 for all its flaws and clearly being an unfinished game, kind of. Like, oh, you got to the end. Just play backwards with Dante now. It's like, oh, here, do all the same boss fights again. It's like, oh my gosh. You also had like wide open spaces where you're just running, trying to find where you need to go, and then find enemies to fight. I mean, it was not really a finished game. 3 for me is definitely the pinnacle. I tell people, like, if they have never played Devil May Cry before, pardon me, to go play 3 first. Yeah, exactly. Said 4 board you to tears, you like 5. 5 board me to tears, I like 4. You know, I don't like it like, oh my god, it's the best one, but for me it's playable. Excuse me. I suddenly got a random case of hiccups. Pardon me, making the stream more entertaining, I'm sure. But yeah, it's not a bad series, but just 5 just kind of didn't really make me go, oh wow, this is what I'm looking for, and it's kind of hard, you know, definitely like you said, going from Bayonetta to that, it is quite the transition, you know, just for action levels and how the games are built. 5 is, the Devil May Cry series has always kind of prided itself on being combo heavy and flashy and stuff, and for me, I'm just like, what's the optimal combo to beat somebody down and have a challenge to it? 1 is the OG. Yeah, 1 is, like, 1 was really kind of took me for a trip when I first played it. Because you can tell that it has its roots in not in Devil May Cry, in Resident Evil. So, I mean, that really took me for a loop, like how close it was to a Resident Evil game. And then, of course, everyone knows now, pretty much, or should know, that it was going to be originally Resident Evil 3. And they're like, this is too different of a game. Spin it off into its own thing. And that's what happened. Two, nobody should ever play. It's kind of like the PlayStation version of Bayonetta 1. Just don't, you know, or PlayStation 3 version of Bayonetta 1. Just don't play it. Also, this is weird too, watching the first game, because they have this kind of like retro-ish tech, like the airplanes there, and then number 2, it's all modern technology, like F-18 fighter jets and stuff. Yeah, 2 is... I have never met a single person who said Bayonetta, like, gosh, I'm getting all screwed up, that Devil May Cry 2 is the best game ever. It's like, no one has ever said it to my knowledge. If they do, I would probably have them committed to a psychiatric facility for evaluation. Also, they changed Bayonetta's face for number 2. In 1, her face here is like more angular, longish. In Bayonetta 2, they actually rounded it more, so she has this kind of like softer look to it. Yeah, I don't know what happened with Devil May Cry 2. Just, it was obvious things went horribly, horribly wrong.
You?
What's the matter, Bayonetta? All that sleeping made you soft.
So has Bayonetta been using these, like, crummy guns for, like, 20 years? There we go. It's like... And that doesn't seem to be generating a lot of stuff, alright. Oh yeah. And as for me and pretty much everybody else in the Bayonetta community, you know, speedrunning community, we're just waiting for anything on Bayonetta 3. He's done a lot. He's had a pretty good career. Yeah, we're all waiting for it. I mean, we in the Discord were quite upset that it was not shown at E3. As for Bayonetta 3, we're working on it, still. So I'm pretty much convinced that Platinum pulled a square, like what they did with Final Fantasy VII Remake, where like, here's a cool trailer we made, and they had like no work done on the game whatsoever outside of that trailer. And that's what pretty much appears to be the case with Bayonetta 3. They put out this trailer, then nothing, no screenshots, no progress, no word for it, radio silence for so long, other than, it's a game, we're working on it. And then Astral Chain is announced, and you're seeing all these things for that, and they are hyping it, they are focusing on it. So I'm pretty sure that they're probably just about right about now starting up working on Bayonetta 3 finally. So I'm not expecting to see it till at the earliest, like Christmas 2020 or early 2021, personally. But the thing is, they haven't been working on it. It's kind of obvious with them. And now, just now, they're talking about how they're developing the game, which caused some panic among people. And then I tracked down the original Japanese interview and read it and went, okay, people just shut up, because they're like, they said we're doing the game differently. We're changing how we do the game, and people started flipping out. They're like, oh my god, it's gonna be like this open world game, and it's gonna be terrible. They're changing how the game plays. And I'm like, I read the original Japanese interview, and they're like, we're changing how we're making the game, whereas in Bayonetta 1 and 2, we do, okay, what's the first level gonna be? Okay, cool. Then they do that, then they build it, then what's the second level gonna be? And they're pretty much making it up as they went through the game, which is why you have some levels are amazing, some kind of fall flat, don't fit well together. So now what they're doing is, like, basically planning out the entire game in advance, like every single game company does on the planet, except for Platinum, apparently. And then, like, dividing it up, like, okay, this group here is going to take, like, it's going to build levels 1 through 3, or chapters 1 through 3, you're taking 4 through 7, build it, put the game together, test it, and work on it that way. Basically how every single game is developed. And Platinum is finally getting around to doing that. So that's what it was. So we'll have to see what the end result is, but they finally realized, hey, we should probably do what everybody else does making video games, and how they do it. That seems to work out a lot better. Which is why Bayonetta 2 was so weird, and I complain about it every single speedrun I do, because the big money-making level for Bayonetta 2 is Chapter 14.
I got a little present for you.
2 levels away from the end of the game is where you finally get a money dump so you can buy all the different things you want to have. That's where the money is, because that's where they planned, you know, they're building one level at a time, like, well, that was cool, what's our next level going to be? Well, let's stop and think about it, what can we do? You know? Kind of a weird way to do it. So, yeah, we'll have to see what it is. I'm still not expecting anything until 2021, probably. It would not surprise me. What I would personally like, but of course it's going to be on the Switch, so nuts to that is, you know, if you have other playable characters, to have the lines voiced by that character actor. Like, if you play Bayonetta as Jean, it's Jean's body up there, like her model, but it's like the voice actors for Bayonetta saying all the lines, so it's this weird kind of like marionette type situation, I guess you kind of call it. Ventriloquist dummy would be better. You know, because like you'd have Jean in this cutscene here instead of Bayonetta, and just Bayonetta's voice actor talking. So for me, I'd like to have that actually be the person who is like do the voice acting.
Not to butt into your affairs, but I'm pretty
it's
sure
a small thing, but that's what I would personally like.
The guys you're up against aren't the type to wait for you to finish a round.
Did she just Batman me? She did.
Enzo, her drinks are going on your tab, buddy. You deadbeat motherfucker.
I hope so, man. Because, I mean, for me, Platinum is a hit or miss game maker. Because you have some really amazing games, and you have some real turds, in my opinion. The worst one by far was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I mean, I don't even think people even remember that Platinum made that game. It was bad. And for me, the ball kind of dropped for Platinum with Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, which I know a lot of people love, but I do not. When it first came out, there was no blocking, no dodging, no parrying in the game. It was terrible. You took hit damage all the time. And then they patched in a blocking mechanic so you could hold down a button and actually block at will, and that made the game kind of fun. Then they took it out with another patch and then put it in basically where you have to parry everything. Like, you have to get a parry time. It just changed how the game played entirely. Like, it seemed like when they had the block button, that was the best way to go, and then just kind of screwed it up. So for me, I really am not a fan of that game. It's not bad, it's not good, I'm kind of meh about it. And the other big problem I had with it was, don't care about Angel Attack, I don't play it. Actually, you can cheat with this version and use the mouse. Blammo! But The Legend of Korra, because I love the Avatar series. But yeah, that Legend of Korra game was not good at all. It was so easy to do with it. They had like such an easy like money-making hit, and just kind of boffed it. Like, oh, it's like you could have all these powers switching back and forth, and it's just nerfed. It's just not a good game, unfortunately. It's got a lot of broken mechanics in it. But yeah, like I said, it's like people love Rising. Like, I understand why, and it's a very beloved game for a lot of people, and for me, I'm just like, it's middle of the road. Like I said, I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's outstanding. For me, it's playable. I'm like, yeah, I can play it, but I'm not gonna go out of my way going, dude, Rising, gotta play that on stream. I'm just like, eh. Let's see, 4,500. I think I have anything good. Only effective during the next chapter. That's right, I forgot they did that. Yellow Orb. Gold Moon Pearl. Magic Flute, that's not in Bayonetta 3, or 2, I should say. Blue Witch Heart, okay, yeah. I'm just kind of taking a look at these things. I'm used to like purple, red, and yellow, then I see blue and gold. I'm like, what now? There is a glitch for the flute. I'm not going to be doing that because it's just boring to watch, in my opinion. 1 second here, I'm going to mute it's going to stop the stream for a second. It's not dropping it, but it's going to pause it. Hold on. Okay, sorry, I had to open a drink, didn't want to do it on stream with a microphone cracking right into it. Did I play Nier Automata? Yes, I did. It is my favorite game of 2017. I bought it 4 times. I bought it for the PlayStation 4, and I bought the PC version when it came out, not knowing that the PC version was going to be total garbage, and then I gifted 2 more PC versions to 2 friends of mine. I mean, that's how much I love the game. Now, the PC version is still pretty kind of busted, but there is an unofficial FAR patch, like Fix Automata, something like that. I forget what it stands for. But yeah, it's kind of crazy, but that makes the PC version a lot better. But yeah, I loved that game to death. I thought it was amazing. I had not played the original Nier, so even I was able to kind of get into it and start playing it. The music for me, I actually listen to that soundtrack, you know, pretty regularly because it's amazing soundtrack. Dynamic music on top of it changes what you're doing. It's wild. That's ridiculously hard to do from a composition standpoint.
And some whale in Europe is trying to fence a huge rock on the black market.
Whales?
He calls it the right eye.
I love how you're flying to Europe and you take the longest way possible.
The eyes of the world.
Fly to the east. You'll make it there in like 5 hours or less.
Now, here's the funny bit. The stone
Probably about 5 hours, 6 hours, depending. Like, nah, we're gonna fly to Japan. We're gonna fly through Russia. We're gonna make sure this flight lasts at least 26, 27 hours, you know, instead of actually just making it last 5. So, you started it recently, Omar. What do you think about it so far?
You're gonna enjoy doing this one, I bet. I love sticking it to the rich. Of course, when you do, don't forget your old buddy Enzo stuck his neck out on this one. Slide me a few fuzzoles out of the rich guy's pocket for my troubles, right?
Oh yeah.
Anyways,
I liked it. The combat wasn't as deep, you know, like for like a lot of the sword stuff there, but just like exploring everything in the story and everything, I thought was really amazing. And as I tell people, play the entire game. People hear that you have to play the game 5 times, and they flip out, like, I'm not going to play the same game 5 times. You don't. You know, you play through with the first character, then you do it from the second character's point of view, then after that, it's entirely brand new and completely different. Like, for me, playing through, like, the B route was a slog, because I'm like, come on, keep going. It's like, get past this, and then after that, like, the game almost turns into its own sequel. So I've known people who've played the game like, oh, it was great, and they stop after beating Route A. I'm like, there is so much more to this game. This is like a 40-hour game if you play it casually, if not more. Go back and finish it. Oh yeah. Even some of the endings, I mean, there's 5 legit endings to the game. You know, Route A through E will have endings, so to speak. Then after that, everything is just like joke ending. Like, when you get, I don't think I'm spoiling this for you, because it's very early in the game, but like when you get the self-destruct, blow yourself up inside the space station.
So,
Yeah, you get an ending that way.
this is supposed
The
to be
the commander is very upset, floating through space with a stern looker on her face, you know. Just jokes like that I really appreciate. Okay. Yeah, there's one you remove the chip, and there's a lot of other like little joke endings there, which whoa, camera, come on. That I really appreciate. I thought it was cool that they took all that time to put that into the game, to make the effort for it. Okay, what's my center? Okay, push in right thumbstick. Yeah, in place like Bayonetta, the problem I have with Nier Automata is that, like, even if you don't really level up a whole lot, you're still pretty overpowered. Pardon me, with fights. The lock-on is really weird. Like, I never got used to that, really. You have infinite bullets. I mean, just kind of like you can do right now if you're like this, but it's even faster and pretty powerful. So I was like, you know, so I ended up not using the gun a whole lot, like the, whatever, the bot. Come on. Okay, I just saw it looked like it was dropping frames for a second. Yep, and there comes the Twitch warning, like, hey, our servers crapped the bed for a little bit. Thank you, Twitch. Yeah, lock-on is, like, extremely clunky. That's the only thing I kind of had a problem with that game, was that lock-on system. So I actually tended to not use it a whole lot, except for a couple times when it was kind of needed. And the map is really weird too. It's hard to see things, because it's a 3D map, but you don't have exact precision. So it's, like I said, it's still my favorite game, but it's not a perfect game. Very few games are, really. I'm leaving here, you can't stop me. Okay, I'm back. Moon Pearl! I think there's nothing else out there too. Oh man. I don't think you get the Panther until like chapter 5? That's what I like about Bayonetta 2. They didn't pull the whole Metroid on you. They're like, hey, guess what? Let's see. Yeah, I think I have it reversed. But like Bayonetta 2, you start off, you have the Panther run, you have a lot of your moves already at your disposal. So it doesn't like make you go through and try to re-earn everything. Okay, I think it's, no, it's not this, it's options. Camera. Okay, I should probably read first. For x-axis. Okay, there we go. Yeah, screw you guys. See you later. Of course. By all means. Voyage towards the truth. I don't care about the truth. I want to be in denial. Awesome. What game was it? Well, hey, try and explain to your parents that you play this game. Oh, dude, Hitman 2, that's impressive. I say it's impressive because I am terrible at that game. It's like, I can do like the first 3 levels, I'm all great, and then after that I'm like, where's a walkthrough? Because I ain't figuring this out. But yeah, world record is still world record, even if nobody really plays it. It still counts. So congrats. He's like, so you got a world record playing this game. What does that mean exactly, speedrunning? It's like, well, it means I can technically beat Bayonetta 2 in some categories faster than anybody else in the world. Okay, cool. So what's the game about? Well, you play as a witch whose clothes are made of hair, and the stronger you get, like the more powerful your attacks are, then she gets more naked because her clothes are coming off. My parents don't look me in the eye anymore, really. Dude, 15 minutes, that's way faster. That's like me for like doing one level is like 15 minutes usually. I'm like, well, how am I gonna do this, and start plotting it out. I heard the last, okay, so let me ask you here. Hitman 2, because they're doing that thing I hate when video game players, or not video game players, but companies do this, where they take an established franchise and then name it like one of the games in the series. For example, you have God of War, and you have God of War. One's for the PlayStation 2, and then the other one's like the fourth game of the series on the PlayStation 4, both called the same thing. So is this the new Hitman 2, or is this like the old game, like from like 2002? I think it was around that range, 2001, that neighborhood. So I have it for the original Xbox, but I know that they had the new Hitman. They just started renaming them again. Oh man, so I gotta take a look, actually, tell you what my PBs are. Quick, to the leaderboard! Ah, okay, so it's the new one. Okay, gotcha. So let's see, what do I got? Infinite Climax, don't have any on there. I have, let's see, Third Climax, I have the Wii U record because nobody's going to play that version anymore. That was like 2 hours and 21 minutes on the disc, which was a god-awful version to play with that. Second Climax, I have third for Bayonetta, second for Jean, first for Rosa, then first Climax, which is a joke category pretty much because it's so easy. I have world records across the board, actually except for Rosa. So Bayonetta, Jean, world records. Rosa, I'm second place. Then New Game Plus, I have world records for Bayonetta, Jean, and Rosa. On hard setting and Infinite Climax, I have the world record for Bayonetta for New Game Plus. So there's a couple of them, and the game's really kind of expanded out from where it was, because when I started speedrunning the game, it was literally a dead game. Nobody was playing it anymore, and there was only like 3 runs total. Defeat all the angels before time expires. Enemies can be defeated during which time? Oh, it's one of these things. Oh yeah, it's pretty wild. Okay, so I'm not gonna be able to pull off that delay move very well. How do I taunt in this version? Oh, that's gonna pull off and kill him in time. Yep, I'm on speedrun.com, Wurzel 5. Whoa, okay, that goes a lot faster. Why are you attacking that orb? No one cares about the orb, Bayonetta. So I am used to... Okay, so the taunt button being, like, down on the D-pad, and this game it is the left bumper button. Yeah, it's not gonna kill him. Too slow. Yeah, so if you're around tomorrow, because I stream at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single day. Or not every single day, but quite often. If you don't know when that is, like I said, I don't know where in the world you are. But just type that into Google, and it'll tell you for whatever time you are, wherever you are. Jeez, okay, that's not gonna be good. That's usually when I start streaming. And I'm thinking about doing... Oh geez, 2 of these guys, I'm not going to beat this in time. So I'm going to be doing probably a Jean speedrun, most likely. Who is actually the harder of the characters to use. Alright, so screw this one's going to drive me nuts. Let's do it one more time, what the heck. Then I'll probably do New Game Plus. I do love New Game Plus, so I'll probably be doing all Jean tomorrow, which would be kind of interesting. And it's interesting in the fact because she retains her moveset from this game. It's a Bayonetta 1 moveset. And in order to trigger her Witch Time, I don't know if it's the same for Bayonetta 1 because I haven't played this game forever, where basically in order to trigger Witch Time, you have to get hit and then hit the dodge button within like a 2 to 3 frame window in order to activate it, so it's even harder to do. But she does have the higher damage capability. Okay, that got me off guard. That was a dropped input, which is weird for this game. Oh man, that is a delay on those kicks. Oh my gosh. Bayonetta 2, those kicks, like, the gunfire comes out, like, instantly. These guys are also only in Bayonetta 2 for like 2 levels, I think. So it's like, I am not used to their timing anymore whatsoever. Okay, final set. Okay, take the time to actually do... I should also state that I am also on a lot of painkillers right now because I need a back fusion. So my reaction times are not quite the best. So you might be looking like, why is he getting hit there? Why isn't he dodging? That's pretty much why. They're slightly slowed. Alright, so enough of that nonsense. I can live without it. Bayonetta will live without it. We will keep on going. Because it comes up every so once in a while, like even on the Discord. Like, oh, it's easy to do this, like, this infinite witch twist thing. You just gotta react to, like, visually where it comes up. I'm like, I can't do that. I play these games from muscle memory. Now we get, like, Rodon's shop. Well, probably. It's one of those things you just gotta get good. Get good and or scrub. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay, cool. I can still do the fast skip here. So what can I get at Rodon's? Ow. Okay, techniques. Stiletto's kind of... Ooh, air dodge is good. Definitely get that. Buy stiletto. Tatsuzanko is... I remember being pretty good. Depleting your magic gauge. That's right. I have played all 3 Dark Souls games. Pardon me. Again, my goodness. I've played all 3 of them. I'm familiar with them. But I'm not like a hardcore fan. I'm like, oh, cool, a new one's out. Let's try this. Actually, I really liked Bloodstained a lot. I think it was Bloodstained. Is it Bloodstained? Let me take a look to my left to look at my PlayStation 4 collection. Bloodborne, that's what it was. Bloodstained is the Castlevania game. That is fun. But yeah, Bloodborne I really liked because it was more action-based. Instead of playing more defensive like you would for the Dark Souls games, you wanted to play more aggressively. Yeah, Bloodborne. Alright, let's get this bad boy. I can't get this bad boy. Alright, I'll be back for you, sir. Let's get the stiletto instead, which I think is just double tap forward. Yeah. Executed by holding... Oh, okay, that's a lot better. Alright. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Actually, I had a friend of mine who bought a PlayStation 4 just to play that game, and he's regretted buying a PlayStation 4 ever since. He's like, I like the game, but it's the only game I've ever played, really. He was like more of a PC, you know, type person there, and just, you know, how things work out. Sometimes you get to play consoles a lot, you know. Family obligations, jobs, things of that nature. I remember this place from Bayonetta 2. Yay, birdie bird. Oh no, I'm allergic! PC's really nice. I want to get, like, when I get my back fixed, hopefully fused soon, fingers crossed. I actually won't, like, get a job. One of the first things I'm going to be buying is, like, a new full-on, top-of-the-line PC for gaming. I mean, a good gaming PC will last you, like, 4 or 5 years, depending on how much quality you want to have in it. I mean, I have a GTX 964 gigabyte, and I've had that card for like 3.5 years. I can still play like a lot of games, like at 1080p 60, which is what I'm looking for, because I don't have a 4K monitor, so it's like, so I'm happy with that. Like, some people are like, you gotta have 4K, and for me, I'm like, I would rather have, you know, 60 frames per second versus like 4K at 20 frames, 30 frames, because things are just not really set up that way to do it right now. You know, 4K is just kind of like not that great. And you hear claims like by Microsoft and Sony like, oh, we're gonna be able to do like 4K 60 on just about everything. I'm like, I doubt it. Okay, I'm trying to do like the scoop move like where you launch him, and I'm just failing miserably. Yeah, because I remember, like, the early days, we're talking, like, 95 onward, like, where it was just like, hey, you bought a new computer and it's obsolete. You know, it's like, the leaps were just so humongous, and it finally seemed to slow down, like, Moore's Laws kind of slowed down a little bit. I remember this being a lot more powerful. I guess I was wrong. Tube on my phone. So yeah, Moore's Law is still kind of effective. It seems to be slowing down for like the PCs currently, but it's still advancing up there. I mean, pretty quick. I mean, just like even if you look at like how prices drop for everything. I remember over a year ago, i9s for Intel were starting to come out, and they were like ridiculously priced. Like if you wanted an i9, like I forgot what it was, like 9900, whatever it is there, like the 9900, I guess you'd call it. Like, that was thousands of dollars, and now you can buy it for a lot less. You know, it's just things keep coming down in price as they keep getting better with it. So who knows where it'll be. So, let's see. Okay, so that does not decrease its usage unless you hit somebody. Okay. Man, moving around so much slower. There it is. Chart. Oops, cooldown. Yeah. Like a friend of mine bought a Ryzen not too long ago. I forgot which one it is. Like right now, I am rocking a AMD FX 8300, which is an 8-core computer. But we're talking like 3.3 gigahertz clock speed, and I have it boosted up to around 3.7, which is not that great. But it was one of those things where like, hey, you need a computer for college, and you need to be able to run virtuals, and your computer you had just blew up. Like, basically the North Bridge started to die on it, which is like part of your brain dying just about. So I had to get something that was the only thing that was available, because this was when everybody got into the data mining, like the Bitcoin stuff. We're gonna do all these, like, you know, blockchain stuff. I'm gonna make a lot of money by buying like a $5,000 computer, and I'll never see my return investment on this. So it's like GPUs and like CPUs were just like non-existent. They're just getting bought up by everybody trying to get into that. A lot of people lost money because they didn't understand what they're getting into, realized that the investment would be taking a lot of time. I wonder if I can taunt him. I guess not, he's already angry at me, so... Ooh, got an achievement. Nice try. I'm guessing it has to do with dodging. There we go. Yeah, so like like when I buy like a dedicated gaming PC to replace what I have now overall, you know, I probably keep this just for like streaming, like to basically have a 2-rig setup, so like have the gaming PC to handle all that, export it over to this one I'm using right now to help stream. Take the load off of everything from the main computer. So it'd be like, I'm looking to spend like probably like $2,500. I still don't have enough to go to Radon's just yet for what I want. Okay, so air PPP KKK is still a thing. Yes. My question is, can it run Crisis? Which is usually no. Because nothing can run Crisis. I mean, I ran it like not too long ago on my computer just to see how it would run. And like, so basically what I would have would be considered like a supercomputer from when this game came out, like 2006, 2007, I think the original Crisis. You still can't play it maxed out on all settings. You can, but you won't hit 60. I think at the highest I got was like 45 on that. Crisis 2 and 3 were more optimized. Those I can play no problem. But I mean, Crisis 1 is just so unoptimized. It still doesn't quite work, you know? Frostbite is not a good engine. Okay, why are you... Let's do something stupid. I'm all about doing something stupid. That's what most of my streams are. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but developers keep trying to make Frostbite a thing, and it's just a terrible, terrible engine. I have a story about Doom 2016, I'll tell you. So originally the computer I had at the time was a quad-core 3 point... It was an AMD something, or I think it was a 4300, which was like a quad-core 3.8 gigahertz, which was pretty quick. And I could still run everything fully maxed out, like I said, my GTX 960. I bought Doom 2016 when it came out. It worked just fine. It worked, I mean, 1080p 60, all settings cranked max. And you know, I had to move and job. I started college, so I had to like kind of put it on the back burner. So eventually I was thinking like, oh, you know, let's get back to, let's finish up Doom. And there was an update patch, and all of a sudden the game would not launch. It would just crash on opening. So I had to go through and try to figure out what in the world is happening. Why does this keep crashing? Got a hold of the technical support and everything. I mean, like, I on my computer I'm on now, like the 8-core boosted up to 3.7. And with, you know, tech support back and forth for like 2 weeks, trying to get this all taken care of. And eventually, like, you know what? We changed the minimum requirements for the game, so you can't even launch it anymore. So if you don't meet an arbitrary number, even though you can run everything else, I can play the latest Tomb Raider game, max settings, and still have it run 60 frames per second on my computer, but they're like, nope, you don't meet our arbitrary number, so you can't launch the game even though you've paid for it and you've played it before in the past. And like, I was pissed. So I went and downloaded a pirated version of the game, because I owned the game legally in my Steam collection. And that's when I launched the unpatched, like, illegal, like, pirated version on my computer. It crashed again, because apparently they put some kind of rootkit or something in the directory for my computer, like, that I need to actually go through, find, and purge. I don't know where it's at. I'm going to have to do a lot of serious research on it for where exactly it is. Now, let's see if I can figure it out here. Yeah, so they put it somewhere in the registry. So I gotta find that and purge that out of there, because it won't even launch even like the cracked version of the game. So people are like asking me like, are you gonna play the new Doom? I'm like, no, they can go to hell. It's like, I am not buying another Bethesda game ever again. Lady, do you know you just blew up the suspension on that motorcycle? Not even Evel Knievel would do that. And he was a violent drunk. So, playing Bayonetta 1, and motorcycle jumping and other crazy stuff just jogged my memory that there was a Bayonetta animated movie. It came out like 2013, I think it was. Bloody Tears, I believe it was called. I still haven't finished watching it. I should probably do that one of these days. I keep threatening to do it, but I haven't done it. I got like halfway through and stopped for whatever reason. Hey, T. Wallace.
Answers about your past, are we?
Yeah, but the thing is, though, you actually intentionally do that.
And using the same powers. But you'll have to forgive me.
But you'll like this game, T. Wallace.
Do we know each
It
other?
has an automatic mode. And a very easy mode, which means I could put my dad in front of the controller and have him play this and beat it.
Your little dip in that lake has left you a bit rusty.
I've been high and dry for 20 years now.
Sober for 20 years? Very
The only
good.
rough
I'm proud of you,
story
Bayonetta.
is from the lack of any real challenge. Perhaps you're up for the task.
You've already disappointed me.
Wait a minute, that's the thing I'm trying to get. Why am I throwing it in the air and forgetting about it? Oh, details. Yeah. Like anybody could. Especially this game, it has like... You know, Bayonetta 2 has easy mode. This has very easy mode.
But you've forgotten your destiny. And wasted the past 20 years.
Living in your parents' basement, playing Fortnite, saying you'll get a job someday.
I do seem to be having trouble remembering things of late. Would you be so kind as to take it from the top?
2 overseers. The eyes of the world.
Nonsensical plot that still won't make sense.
Jean, as heir to the clan, the time has come for you to prove your right to fight under the Umbran name. You may select opponents.
Now this
of
fight
your choice.
that I've talked to the Bayonetta 1 speedrunners is really
Then
annoying.
allow me to face the outcast.
None. Helen Kiadagat. The child is of impure blood.
We keep her around for purely aesthetic choices.
Tenets of faith.
It would not be the first time
For
we've
me.
faced each other.
Kiard?
Will you face me in this hallowed arena?
Well, if I must. But I pray you've got a little something for me in return. You know, I'm very fond of stuffed animals.
Yeah, but we have heard that you murdered the deputy. What you did to his dog was just inexcusable. Now I'm going on the record. I Shot the Sheriff is the dumbest song, one of the dumbest songs I've heard. Not the dumbest, I mean, I've heard far worse. I've listened to the Shaggs. If you don't know who the Shaggs are, your life is a lot better for that. Yeah, he was just doing a normal, you know, normal traffic stop, and I just kind of plowed into him. I really hate not having Panther. It's like, please don't tell me I get locked up. Shouldn't. This version of the game is like rock solid, usually. Yeah, I remember that was suddenly something I can do very briefly during like one time of the month, which happens to be now. Whee! What you say when you and other people are having fun? Whee! Or if it's just yourself, me! Deer and decorations. Be better if it was a floating deer head, because it'd be literal. Dude, where are you at? There it is. I'm trying to figure out what the lock-on button is. Oh, good one, Omar. All right. Okay, so that threw me off because I want to get the Umber and Tears. Back here. Now, you guys haven't heard the best song ever. But you will now. Yeah, so there was this little group out of New Hampshire. It was called the Shaggs. And they're basically, their parents were crazy. The father was like, you know what? My kids, like, my mom told me that, like, I'm gonna have, like, 3 kids, and they're gonna be rock stars and musicians, and the world's gonna take them all over, and they're gonna love them. And we just need to give them a recording studio. I don't know, like, they don't have to know how to play their instruments. They don't have to know how to do any of that. They're just gonna make a lot of money. So he paid up like $5,000 in like 1968 or something like that for his 3 daughters who have no talent, no singing ability, no idea how to play their instruments, can somehow sing above and below key while not keeping a beat, which is like almost humanly impossible. But yeah, so I listened to the entire thing stoned. It doesn't help at all. But yeah, this is the Shaggs, and this is one of the many songs they have called That Little Sports Car. Behold.
There was a sports car on the road. On the road, I thought I knew the fella that drove. That little sports car was slippery as an oyster. Following it was like riding on a roller coaster. Roller coaster. Around the corners.
Yeah, so an entire album like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, we could play this to, like, enemy combatants, detainees. Police could use it for interrogations. They will get confessions in record time. I mean, seriously. The Shaggs were special. Yeah, it was the only album they had for some weird reason. It actually turns out to be incredibly rare to own the vinyl, and my friend actually has it. So I was like, he's like, dude, you never heard the Shaggs before? I'm like, no. He's like, trust me, man, hit this first. It's going to make it absolutely amazing. And no, it didn't. It made it far worse somehow. It's like, this should not be a thing, and yet here we are. Yeah, someone finally played their song. I've done it a couple times. Like I said, if you have a Twitch stream that has, like, hey, you know, and like, just put in the YouTube link or request a song, I am putting that on your song list. It's like, you will learn quickly not to do that mistake again. Whee! Let's go over here. The question is, though, would you be able to stand it? I mean, most people can't stand listening to for like more than 20 seconds of the Shaggs. Yeah, like, basically keep a copy of that in your car, too. So if you ever get pulled over by the cops, just start playing that. They'll probably let you out of a ticket just to make the music stop. Oh look, it's the most thirsty man in the world, Luca, who has a really weird change for the second, made him like a cowboy kind of thing? Cowboy stripper? I'm not sure what they're trying to go with his design in Bayonetta 2.
Do you believe in fate? Fate brought us here together, and it will never tear us apart.
I'm totally not Jetstream Sam, by the way. Because he was first.
Damn it! I said stop! I'm authorized to use deadly force!
So here's the kind of weird disconnect in this series. Ninja Gaiden kind of went through the same thing. You have this kind of weird, like, European, retro-ish type style world. And then as the game series go on, it changes to be more modern time. I mean, like, Bayonetta 2 is, like, basically just straight up, like, our world recreated. Fighter jets, technology, everything in this place it's not quite there. You know, cars are definitely retro styled and everything. Bayonetta 2 have our world cars, so
Such a wonderful floral bouquet. With its subtle hints of rosemary. You know, in the language of flowers, rosemary equates to remembrance. Which doesn't quite equate to you, now does it? Bayonetta. Shit! Will you stop that?
That little bug on Enzo was a nice touch. Seeing you here, I suppose it wasn't the only one.
man, we're gonna have this weird sexual tension relationship that'll completely disappear in the next game.
I'm not your pet. The name is Luca. A name you'd better remember. Shit! Damn it! Wait! You can't just run away from me like that! I know what I saw that day!
It is way too hot to be wearing a scarf.
I know all about your kind. Sure, my colleagues laugh at me for chasing fairy tales, amongst other things. But I know they're real. I know the truth. This smell. It's the same smell that clung to the air the day my father was murdered. Which means I'm right on your doorstep, Bayonetta.
I'll let you in on a little secret, Cheshire.
The name is Luke.
Oh, my eyeballs! There's glass everywhere!
You need to hone your sense of smell, my dear. There's no rosemary in the perfume. After all, rosemary's a demon repellent.
Well, that's the only thing that also doesn't happen in number 2. It's like if you get hit, you don't lose your magic power. You know, also like Bayonetta gets like seriously nerfed. And like in this game, like Wicked Weaves are like ridiculously powerful. So like the fastest you can get them out, the more damage you're gonna do. Also, angel weapons are pretty strong too. It's not like one of the moons of like Jupiter. They figured like the wind speeds are so crazy, like glass comes raining through, like not glass, but like ice is just kind of like flowing through. Still not wanting to do that. Trying to figure out what it is, like how you do the pull with this, but oh well.
You only run away so fast because you've got something to run from. Me! But you can't escape me forever.
Well, hey man, you're in Arizona, you should be used to that by now. Now, space is an interesting thing, like when you figure out like how much we can see. You're actually looking backwards in time, which is even crazier of an idea. Yay, glitches! Those still existed on the original 360 version. But I mean, it's like you're actually looking backwards in time, because that's all stuff that's happened billions of years ago. Ah, Luca's special. This part I think we can pull it off just about right. Should be able to forward dodge through this trolley. There we go. That makes sense. Yeah, it's just reaching us, so we're looking at stars and everything else that probably don't even exist anymore. And it's crazy how we can, like, see through everything, like, see all this crazy stuff. But we're still limited. Oh, that's great. I forgot about this game does that. It's like, hey, you got this really cool cutscene going on, and you're just gonna get hit right out of nowhere because you can't see what's happening. Surprise! And you are. And you see, like, basically, like, you learn, like, okay, like, how fast light speed is, how far everything is. It's like, odds of us leaving our galaxy are extremely low. Which is what I really liked about the original, like, the Star Trek series. It was like, yeah, it's like, it's not taking place like Star Wars, like, oh, we're just gonna jump to one galaxy to another. It's like, they're barely exploring a small, like, even not a fourth of the galaxy we're in right now, the Milky Way, which is where all these Star Trek series happen, which is kind of cool. Even if we get, like, faster than light travel, because warping, which blows a lot of people's minds, so people think, like, oh, you're just going faster. What you're actually doing is you're not moving, you're actually warping the space around you in space-time to basically move the universe around yourself. Even if you could do that, you still would probably never escape our local galaxy cluster of about 4 or 5 galaxies because of how everything is blowing out and expanding out further. So even if we do get that faster-than-light technology, we're still limited to our 4 or 5 galaxies. We'll never see these things that we're looking at halfway across the universe. Oh, this game does that a lot, T. Wallace. You don't see that anymore in Bayonetta 2, they got rid of that. You'll also have, like, instant death stuff, too. Like, if you're watching a cutscene and then, you know, button prompt, like, will pop up. If you don't hit it, like, almost exactly then, or get it wrong, it's instant death. You die instantly. Have to do it again. Which, thankfully, was taken out of Bayonetta 2. Beat all the angels before time expires using a limited number of punches and kicks allotted. Now, what I like about space, though, was... you know, like, Hubble. You have, like, the deep space probe. And you're like, we can, like, they thought it was an empty space. They're like, oh, there's nothing there. And then, like, oh, it turns out there's, like, about 10,000 galaxies. That's why. Okay, this one stinks. Wormholes, they think exist, but they are, like, extremely, like, we're talking, like, less than a pencil dot. To have something, like, you may have heard it before, like the Einstein-Rosenberg bridge. That's basically a proposal to have a steady wormhole connecting two different parts in space looped on top of each other. That would be gigantic because that's just a theory currently, and to have, like, a wormhole be stable and know exactly where it's going back and forth, that would be huge. Which is why it was a big thing on Deep Space Nine. They're like, wow, cool, a wormhole that actually exists and stays functional. It's like, yeah, because not really something that happens. Not that we've seen, at least. Yeah, this challenge I hate. Just not strong enough to do it. It's actually not a movie, it's actually a show. It's a series. And trailer came out for it, I think 2 days ago? Seems a little more interesting. You know, it was like the original trailer that came out that didn't really have me excited for it. So it's just like, I mean, it was a teaser at that point, like just Picard, supposedly Picard walking through his field, like, why did you quit Starfleet, Admiral? Where's the money, Lebowski? Still trying to get used to the combo structure for this. Ah, that's what I was looking for, okay. Yes. Do some Showtime shows. Question why he's playing a French man with a British accent. The usual. We can cure blindness in the future and travel all throughout the galaxy, but yet people are still bald. I just realized something. I didn't turn down the game volume for when I turned it up for the Shaggs. Never listened to him. Alright. Let me know if it's still too loud. I think these are the shotguns, the Onyx Roses, I think it is. Sir, your car is parked illegally. Thank you for moving your car. Okay, so there is a way you can actually skip this. Like, you don't have to, like, activate the bridge, like, activate the timer up top, run down here, and hit this in time. Pardon me. And I'll probably fail it. Which means I'm probably not even going to attempt it. But basically you can go to the side. Pretty sure it's a double jump and then a stiletto. It should get you across, like, you jump up, dodge, dodge, and then I think like another stiletto attack like that in midair. It'll get you going far enough you can jump past it. I used to be able to remember how to do it, but like I said, I haven't played this game in forever, so...
Well, well. An Angelic Kim's Gold LP. Got your hands.
Worst hits a Soul Train. Why did you bring this to me?
That thing is the perfect bait to coax out some of hell's uglies. One note hits their ears, and a damn who's who of Inferno comes pouring out of the inner circles. Then I can use them to breathe life into what I make best. Weapons.
Coldplay, get the hell out of here.
Tell you what, you give me that record, and I'll order up something so fiendish, angels will cry at the sight of it. I'll just have to pop down to the tropics for a bit. So take a load off.
I've heard people say, like, because of the mistranslated quote and, like, reporters not doing their job, big surprise, that, like, oh no, Bayonetta 3 is gonna be open world. And I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be a battle royale. But, like, no. It's gonna be a visual graphic novel is what it's gonna be. It's gonna be like a dating simulation. Like Doki Doki Panic, but just not interesting.
You got another angelic LP, huh? Hand it over then. I'm in a good mood.
Why didn't you tell me that before? Did you see what I just went through? Man, you suck, Bayonetta.
This took a bit of pounding to shape, but the workmanship's solid. Now, go put this thing to good use.
My Sharuba. Let's see, what is it here? Yeah. Now, in Bayonetta 2, you can use items all you want. It does not penalize you. In this game, it does. So, like the very first time I went through and played Bayonetta 2, I didn't use a single item because I was used to, number one, like heavily penalizing you for your money. And, yeah. So this game, items, unless you're speedrunning, you're probably not going to use them. You don't want to use them. I mean, speedrunning gotta go fast, which I'm not doing because I don't speedrun this game. Alright, so what did I get? That's right, the things are a little different for this. So, have... I think this is the foot? I'm not sure, I keep getting confused for what it is. Because they changed it a little bit. Yes, that's a foot, so... You have shotguns now, which do a lot more damage. So there's the infamous Kilgore glitch, which I don't have, which is basically like rocket launchers on the back feet. So you do a combo, and then you switch to, like, you do this like 4 punches, and the last one's a kick. You switch to your weapon set with your rocket launchers on your feet. For the last one, you start launching rockets like crazy instead of just one. I don't think you can do it. I'm not sure if you can do that with the Onyx. Yeah, that may not be a thing with this here. And the other one I have is... Yeah. The sword. Try that again. This time without dying, hopefully. And hit the wrong button. I can do it. I know I can do it. I believe in myself. Yeah! Take that. Now I'm gonna die. Magic, that's nice. Could use some health right now. What makes the sword really nice is you get the punch kick. That does a wide amount of damage.
Bring it.
So I'm probably gonna use like a red hot shot here, just from getting hit. I played Sekiro once, and yeah, I'm not a fan of it.
Who's there?
With like the literally broken mechanics of that game.
You've played enough hide and seek, my scurrying little friend. Just a child? What are you doing running around Vigrid? You're certainly not dressed in your Sunday best. Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars.
One day Netflix won't pay for the song for Neon Genesis Evangelion.
In other words,
What's better yet, she's trying to shoot herself. Okay, let's take... Yeah, there we go. So coming up is a like literal like instant death type situation. You have to like get it just right. Whoa, combo dropped. Inputs dropped. I think it's X. Yep. If you don't hit that right then at that spot, you blow up and you have to do that fight all over. Actually, I think it's like the second part where like the other head comes in. So thankfully that mechanic was completely nixed from Bayonetta 2. A drink, excuse me.
Bam.
So that little red flash you saw there, that was how fast this game loads. That's supposed to be a loading screen. Dragon's Lair sort of thing, kind of. And for this part, you can cheat on the PC and use the mouse. Oops, missed it both times. So it means, like, you're supposed to be able to do this with a controller, but, why? So basically, Angel Attack, you get enough points, you can buy items. Like I said, items penalize you, so I don't use them. There is the Magic Flute glitch that you can use. I don't bother with that because it gets really boring because you're constantly in and out of the menu. Like, open the menu, hit the item before it deploys, go back to the menu, hit the item again. You basically use the flute, but you don't actually take it out of the inventory, and it kills everything on screen. And you just keep doing that over and over and over. It's boring. So, yeah, I don't do that. I've seen people do, like, I've seen an infinite flute glitch run. It's just not entertaining, in my opinion, at all. Do something real quick. Whoa, okay. That's popped up. Save. The world's on fire! Alright, so I need to hit the restroom. I will be right back. Let's put on some music real quick. Not the Shaggs. Let's see. Stream music. What do I got? Ah, here we go. So speaking of Nier Automata earlier with Omar, we'll put on some Nier Automata music. Be right back. Alright, I have returned. Love that soundtrack, and that's boss music too. So you're like flying around, it's just epic as heck, man. Alright, let's bring back up the game. Here we go. Okay, gates of hell. Don't need anything there.
If I was your child, I'd be an awfully ugly witch, wouldn't I? Yours is a face only a mother could love, and one I could never forget. If only I could remember where from.
Like all good soap operas, Bayonetta has amnesia.
No quarrel? You're in no position to decide that. See, my infernal partners love my ability to eliminate your kind. I figure your sacrifice would shut them up for a while.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play with the Shaggs on break, because I like that people actually hang around and watch my stream instead of closing it out as fast as possible. Reporting me for Twitch violations. Possible crimes against humanity. Let me take a look here. I'm gonna refresh real quick my dashboard because it looks like it's not showing. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so like my display window is like still showing part of the my BRB video, which is actually a music video by a Japanese group called The Geeks, who I love a lot. They're great, and I used to play their music instead, and then they started copyright striking me eventually, so that kind of got put on mute instead. Alright, here we go. Continue.
I've got a feeling, and the only
They are actually, and they still perform. They've become like a kind of like joke band, like okay, it's like cool, it's like it's the Shaggs, but I mean, no one takes them seriously. And they actually have like people playing now, which means that they intentionally had to hire musicians to play terribly. That is crazy. Forgot I had that technique. I'm like, that's very strong. Why am I not using it? So I wonder... There we go. It's like, get off the screen. There we go. Yeah, guns. Look at this. Do the Jean PK switch still work? No, that's not it. Still not it. Okay, that's not what I'm thinking of. Never mind. Okay, I don't think there's anything over there for me to grab now. He's over here. Let's see what insanity lies in the Alfheim that I haven't been able to do yet at all. And fail. Because you pretty much need the afterburner kick. There we go. It's like, please hit me. Yeah, so a lot of these, unfortunately, to my knowledge, which is not really a whole lot on this game, I will fully admit, you pretty much need like special moves to get past them. Like, so like stay in the air. Like, it's easy to do if you have the afterburner kick, because that launches you like up at a 45-degree angle or almost 40-degree angle, so you can hang in the air a lot longer. So I remember doing it last time with the afterburner kick. So. You know, let's put on the swords. So it does give you the ability to do longer... Normally, unless you hit that boundary. You know, longer stinger attack. See ya. Now this part I kind of have an issue with because you can get hit by these guys and... Really... Good job, Bayonetta. Not what I wanted you to do, dear. Yeah, but I don't have the whip, and that's the problem. Oh, I didn't know you could double jump. I didn't know you could jump off the enemies, so I learned something today. Thank you very much, Eldoret. Like I said, my area of expertise in the Bayonetta series is the Bayonetta 2, which is what I speedrun. This game I have not played in a long time, over a year, so... Since my original game I wanted to play tonight kind of fell through, didn't work out right with OBS, I figured let's do this instead. Oh, it's these jerks. Fairness. Seems like all the perch attacks are on B, which is kind of nice. So I used to think like, oh yeah, the PC version's rock solid, and like I'm encountering like hitches here and there, some audio problems. But other than that, I mean, it's like this is still, if you want to speedrun the game, PC version is the way to go. Now this part's kind of a pain in the butt for me because, like I said, I have diminished reaction time, so... Let's see, what am I at for 55? I'm okay with that. She's like, oh yeah, yeah, I've seen that before. I'm fine. You know, encroaching wall of death. Haha, beautiful Joe reference. Okay, so there we go. It's like, please don't do that version. Say, where am I at? Thank you, camera. It's like, yeah, this is another instant death. Oh, the Umber Witches. You should know you're a witch. Goodbye. I get to fight 2 of these jerks. They're not happy either. They're never happy. I can't see where you're coming from. Where you're going, Cotton Eye Joe? Okay, let's change that. No, I still have them on there. What in the world? Okay. I guess I decided to just drop the inputs for it. I was trying to do the kicks. Yay, I survived!
You want to touch?
Oh, thanks, game. Sure, go right into this wall when you try to dash. We understand. Now, there is a way you can do the stiletto to get past all this nonsense with having to get the gates open and all that other stuff. I'm not going to do it because I don't know how. It's like, I'm sure it's not too complicated. I just haven't practiced it and, like I said, played this game literally in over a year. How am I doing for... That's fine. Let's see what I can get in here. I think I should probably get some... either some health or magic.
Take care of my...
No, wrong button. Antonio Redgrave, aka Tony Redgrave, aka Dante from Devil May Cry. Yeah. So yes, you can actually jump into the air and just keep doing stilettos over and over. Which is not that move, but this move. You can get kind of far. I don't remember what weapon that is. We'll find out. Sure, we'll see if I can beat one finally. Probably not. Which time disabled? Okay, no problem. Keep trying to switch to like Bayonetta 2. They changed the buttons around for that, so it's taking some adjustment. Where are you at, dude? Come here. Did it just eat up my angel weapons? No, it didn't. I still have it. Angel weapons also got severely super nerfed in Bayonetta 2. They were kind of a joke. I mean, you didn't encounter them very often, but when you did, it's just like, don't even bother to pick them up a lot of times. You gotta be kidding me, no! Where are you at? It's like you're there somewhere. Yay, I beat one. Hey, it's Nimix. Good to see you, and can't believe you subscribed for 9 months. You're crazy, man. I say it every time. I say it when anyone subscribes, really. But thank you very much, I do appreciate it. Hopefully things are well for you. You're getting enough sleep, enough rest, and not working yourself to death. Yeah, okay, you can walk on this part. I'm like, why am I sticking to the roads? I don't need to. Yeah, it's just how it goes sometimes. It just takes a while to get everything back up and functional. No. Bayonetta, honey, I need you to pay attention here, please. I need you to keep running. Ignore the threat. Nope, still not. Here we go. Currently setting up a TV in office for PC. Can't see the monitor. Can't see the monitor very clearly, so I'm having to do something to fix the problem. Yeah. So, like, how big of a monitor or TV / monitor are you setting up? So I used to love about working from home, especially as a supervisor, because like I'd be like I just have like I said, pull up streams. I'd watch YKB, which is funny because she'd ask me questions, but I'd have it on mute because I'd be on the call, but I could read her lips and like respond back in chat. 32. That's a pretty decent size. I don't know how close you're sitting to it. About 4 feet. That's a decent size. At least you're not like directly in front of her or something crazy. Let's see. I remember there was like a Umbran tier around here. I think that might have been on there, but I usually don't spot it. Yeah, rest in peace, Vigrid. Thousands are dead. Got it. So this is a boss fight we're coming up to. And this is one of the reasons why I don't speedrun Bayonetta. I don't play it too often. It's kind of brutal. So Bayonetta 2 is an easier game, as I've said before, and I fully admit that. It's like, it is a lot easier than this game. But at the same time, it has a lot of improvements. So, I mean, it's like, the health bars, like life bars for bosses on this game are gigantic. Take forever. Yeah, TVs are now smart, and you gotta download updates for them and connect them to Wi-Fi, but they can do a lot of cool stuff. I mean, like my parents have a smart TV upstairs, so it's a lot of fun. Like if I want to show them something on YouTube, you know, I can literally sit on my phone, connect to it through that way, and just have it play on the TV. You know, there's all sorts of crazy stuff you can do with it. They're kind of nice. Currently, I have a Vizio 42-inch sitting right next to me to my immediate right that I don't think I've turned on in about a year. And it's like about 10 years old almost. But it is 120 hertz, so I like that. That's why actually I went on my way to buy that, which was kind of rare to do at the time. Oops. Missing shots on everybody.
Round over.
Now everybody's going crazy about like what 144 hertz or something like that. monitors and all that stuff. Yay! Monitor showing. Huzzah! Let's see something real quick. That's not it. Try to remember. There's a way you can actually duplicate. Let's see. Yeah, Windows key P that you can do it there. You can basically, like, if you have another monitor, you can, like, just basically do that. What you want to do, yeah, is on your PC there, Nimix, is you want to go in and check the display properties to make sure it's, like, updating to, like, 60 hertz. Yeah, because I think it sets to something weird like 24 that looks, like, eye-bleedingly bad. So you can also change, like, the font size and stuff, but the first thing you want to definitely do is make sure it's refreshing to at least like 60 hertz or like 120, depending on what type of monitor you have or TV you have. And that will usually make things look a lot better instantly.
You again? And here I thought I'd seen the last of you.
Essentially Nokian, which is the language of angels. How do we know this? Because some crazy monk decided it was and invented it, much like somebody invented Esperanto, the language that went nowhere.
More than hospitable to me this time around.
Angels love to talk.
I'm sorry. I forgot to mention one of the reasons I hunt your kind. You're much too ugly not to put out of your misery. Flock off, Featherface.
For me. Ah, come on. But notice how large that life bar is. It's gigantic. Also, I can't see where I'm at right now. Excellent. That's usually the other problem too. Resolution change and hertz change too. Yeah, so I usually have like Hertz problems whenever I hook up like a person's computer to a TV. They've never done it before on that TV. But I said, like, I complain about fights lasting forever. We're not even down one life bar yet. Also, a whole lot of button mashing. One second. Ugh, gotta pop my back around a little bit. Alright. Oh yeah, monitors are pretty crazy expensive now, which is kind of weird because they're almost the same technology as TVs, pretty much. So we're down to almost the final life bar of this thing. another thing Bayonetta 2 did correctly. Cut out all the crazy long boss fights. It's like, have them, but just be reasonable. Nope, wrong one. Alright. Come on, I gotta get used to... Menuing works really different in this game, too. There we go. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is addiction. She also lost her oral fixation in number 2.
So ugly when you're screaming. Foretold? Explain yourself.
Come on now. Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Round over.
I think I have a new weapon that I didn't pick up. We'll see.
Another
Yep.
LP? Working me to the bone. But no need to pity me. I was bored anyways. Let me go whip some things into shape for you. It was a close one this time. This bad boy might even be hard for you to get a handle on. Take care of yourself.
Title screen. Let's check out the save files I have. I think they have everything unlocked.
Bayonetta.
Alright, so what do we got? Nothing here, okay. Chapter menu, let's go into something I can actually get into and change. Alright. Submenu, costume change. Okay, let's see. Chapter select. I guess I gotta do that one real fast before I can get out and do something else. So start. Gotta do the Jean fight. you're almost dead. Please die. Thank you. Alright, so what do I got? I have Guild Wars. Yeah, alright. So these are lovely Kilgores. They fire a rocket, which you can do, however. Pardon me, they're probably not going to be on Spotify. Your best shot, actually, T. Wallace, is actually YouTube. You can pull off a glitch, though. It's basically you switch to your feet at just the right time, like in the middle of a combo, and instead of the finisher being like one rocket, you'll get a whole bunch of them. One. Ah, that's right, I'm doing it completely wrong. Let's try this again. Let's see. So I will need... Yeah, you can get a lot more rockets out. It. Yeah, that turns out to be really useful, especially when you go up against, like, somebody up close. Yeah, so for example, let's get back to chapter... Yeah, we'll do that here. And you also have some other fun weapons, like my favorite, when I like to joke about, Pillow Talk. Vessel for demonic being. Said to seduce women by whispering sweet nothings during their dreams. Pillow Talk has incredible angel-killing power thanks to Rodon's conjuring abilities. It's basically a lightsaber. Okay, let's see here. I know I'm doing it wrong. Nope, got the timing wrong. Yep, there we go. Oh, come on. just don't got the timing down. Oh, we basically get the idea. But with that, we've reached the end of the stream for today, so definitely want to thank everybody for hanging out. T. Wallace, Nimix, and Eldorant, and Omar as well, and of course anybody else who's lurking. You guys are all great. Especially Nimix, thanks for the resubscribe again. I really need to get a better emote. And Omar for the follow. So I do stream at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you don't know when that is, just copy that, put it into Google. It'll tell you for wherever you are in the world. I do plan on streaming tomorrow. It's going to be most likely a Bayonetta 2 speedrun again. I'm thinking probably Jean. I've been wanting to do a second and a third climax run as well, since I don't think I have a third climax run with Jean on the board yet on speedrun.com. So that's the plan for tomorrow at least. You can also check me out on Twitter at Wursel555. You don't have to follow or anything, but if you feel like coming back to watch the stream, it's also awesome. If I need to change something up, like usually I post up if I'm going to be streaming what I'll be playing around 2 to 3 hours in advance. Or if I need to cancel it due to health, which is entirely a very valid thing with me, I'll put it up on there. I actually almost didn't stream tonight because I was feeling really tired. But the plan is to hopefully be streaming tomorrow, do a Bayonetta 2 speedrun. I just wanted to play one tonight because my plans kind of fell through for what I was planning to do. But yeah, that's all I got here for now. So thanks for so much for hanging out, and hopefully see you guys all tomorrow.